All right, let's get into it. We've all had those frustrating conversations with customer service chatbots, right? Well, today, we are going under the hood to see how a genuinely smart one actually works. And I'm not talking about some simple Q&A machine. We're going to look at the architecture of an AI that can really, truly problem solve.
But first, let's talk about that shared frustration. Why do so many of these bots just feel, well, kind of dumb? You ask for your order status, and it starts telling you about the return policy. You ask a simple policy question, and it demands an order number. They just get stuck in a loop. So what is going on there?
Well, it's usually because most of these bots are one-trick ponies. On one hand, you've got what I call the know-it-all. This thing has basically memorized the entire company handbook. It's great for general questions, but the second you ask something specific, like, hey, where's my package? It just short circuits. Then on the other side, you've got the data lookup bot. This one is fantastic at finding one specific piece of data in a file, but ask it a broader question? Nope, can't do it. Each one has a single job, and they completely fall apart the moment you step outside that narrow little box.
So there has to be a better way, right? There is, and it involves a total shift in how we think about the problem. Instead of building an AI that's an encyclopedia, you build one that's more like a dispatcher. And that approach changes everything.
This new kind of AI is called a hybrid agent. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like an expert office manager. See, a great manager doesn't do all of the work themselves, right? Their real talent is knowing exactly who on the team to give a task to. This AI is the exact same. Its main job isn't to know the answer. Its job is to understand your question and route it to the perfect specialized tool that can get the answer.
And look, this isn't just some nice little analogy I came up with. This is literally the design philosophy behind it. The agent is built from the ground up to be a dispatcher. It uses the incredible reasoning power of a large language model to figure out what you really want, and then it sends that request to the right system. That right there, that's the secret sauce.
Okay, so if our AI is the manager, who are the employees? Who's on the team? Well, in this system, our manager has two main specialists it can hand tasks off to. Let's look at its toolkit.
First up, tool number one is the knowledge base. This is the digital version of the company handbook. It's been loaded with all the general info, return policies, shipping details, product descriptions, all that stuff. When you ask a general question, the AI manager says, aha, I know who to give this to, and hands it to this tool. It then uses a cool technique called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG, to find the perfect snippet from the handbook and write you an answer. Then we have tool number two, the order lookup. Think of this as the company's super-focused accounting software. It does one thing, and it does it perfectly. It looks up specific data in a structured file, like a big spreadsheet of all the orders. It has no idea what the return policy is, but man, if you give it an order number, it'll find the status, the shipping date, everything in a split second. So you see what's happening here. It's all about a clear division of labor. You've got the knowledge base, which handles all the general what is type questions from text documents, and then you have the order lookup tool, which handles the super specific where is data requests from a data file. Two totally different jobs handled by two perfectly specialized tools. No confusion. Okay, so theory's great, but let's see how this actually works in the real world. Let's follow a single, slightly more complex question from a user and watch our AI manager put this whole team into motion.
So imagine a customer types, where is my order, and also, what's your shipping policy? Now this is where the magic really happens. An old bot would get totally confused, but our dispatcher AI, it instantly sees two different questions. It's like, okay, where is my order? That goes to the order lookup tool. Shipping policy, that goes to the knowledge base. Each tool does its job, finds its little piece of the puzzle, and reports back to the manager. Then, the AI takes both of those answers and weaves them together into one single, helpful response. The user just gets a perfect answer and has no idea about the complex coordination that just happened behind the curtain. So why are we getting so into the weeds on this? Why does it matter? Because this dispatcher model, it's not just a clever setup for one chatbot. This is a fundamental blueprint for how we can build AI systems that are way more capable and actually genuinely helpful. Now, of course, it's not perfect. There are some really tough challenges to solve. A big one is what they call tool ambiguity, basically making sure the AI always picks the right tool for the job, especially if a question is tricky. Then there's scalability. I mean, going from a simple spreadsheet to a massive, live, constantly changing database, that's a huge engineering challenge. And the final frontier is making these conversations stateful, which is a fancy way of saying teaching the AI to remember what you were talking about 5 minutes ago.
And that really brings us to the big takeaway here. This whole architecture, it's about giving AI the power to do things, to look up data, to interact with systems, to actually take action. So the question this leaves us with isn't about chatbots, it's bigger. The real question is, what kind of problem could you solve if your AI could do a whole lot more than just talk?